I went to a barbecue place in Birmingham. I debated whether I was going to say the name or not. And I don't think I am. There's no need to shame them. But I just want to talk. It is a further talk about the state of restaurants out here. Now, this is a bit of a chain, but and I probably will give it away if I get too detailed. But if I give it away by the details, so be it. I've been to one of these before, and it was good. But this is an Alabama-based barbecue restaurant, I believe. But it is a bit of a chain. And I stopped in one in Birmingham, and I ran into a guy there who said he was a fan of mine, but he seemed very important, and I worried that he owned the restaurant. And I was like, now I'm about to talk about this guy's restaurant. But he messaged me on Instagram, and I saw the message, and I go, oh, great. I go, do you own it? And he goes, oh, no. And I go, okay, perfect. So now, again, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt here. I don't eat pork. So they may be crushing it on the ribs and the pulled pork. But they had pork and chicken. That was the two options. No brisket. So I ordered. It was 4 of us. Now, Hannah went in first and went right to the bathroom. She said there was no toilet paper, no paper towels. Bad sign. She said the bathroom was a mess, and they had a checklist in there that no one had been filling out. I didn't go to the bathroom until after, and then there were no paper towels. It didn't seem clean. The restaurant did not seem clean. And then it took forever. We got there right as it opened, basically, a little after. And we got there for lunch. But it was a Tuesday. So I'm giving a lot of benefit of the doubts here, but I'll give them that it's Tuesday, But it wasn't very busy. It was getting busier as we were there. So we sat down, the 4 of us, and it takes a little while even for them to get to us, even though at the time we were about the only table in there. It takes them a little while to get to us, but we order. I make a little mix of things. I order a half chicken, barbecue chicken. I order some pulled chicken. I order some chicken fingers. Each of those items come with 2 sides, and it was $17 for one, $17 for another, and $20 for another. Very expensive right off the bat. I was like, geez. But I think, all right, well, this is good. It's kind of a local establishment. It's going to be really good. Took forever to come out. The restaurant started to fill up. Took forever to come out. I had to walk the kids. I walked the kids around the whole building 2 times. I let them run around the restaurant and then took them outside because I was trying to get them to burn off some energy because they were getting pretty wild in there waiting on the food because they had been pent up in the car all day. And then the food comes. It's smothered in barbecue sauce. It's not warm. It's warm at best. None of the food is hot. Macaroni and cheese was cold. And the chicken strips were basically, a fried, frozen, refried chicken strip. I would think with a kind of a local barbecue place that it would be like, battered and fried and then deep, whatever. But it wasn't. And then the chicken was so dry and just smothered in barbecue sauce. And I say all this, it was just like Hannah started to seem mad midway through the meal, and I go, what's wrong? She goes, I'll talk to you about it later. And that sort of thing means like, oh, crap, what have I done, But she was just grossed out by the restaurant and didn't want to say it inside the restaurant. So we pay. The service is mediocre. She don't come around till way later while we're eating. I'd say the service was bad, honestly. And then the bill comes, and it's roughly $60. That's $60 for 3 meals, no drinks. We all got waters, no desserts, no appetizers, and none of the meals were good. And then I still tip well. I'm not going to tip bad. I just don't have it in me to tip bad. But I'm like, and then this restaurant will close, and everybody will go, oh, sign of the times, man. The economy's so bad. The chicken was so dry, it seemed like they cooked the chicken last night, and then the first people into the restaurant today got the old chicken from last night. I felt a little nauseous when I left. Fortunately, I didn't get sick. But it's like that's where we're at with restaurants now. That's where we're at, is that the majority of them are just total garbage. The chain restaurants are all food off the Cisco truck, and then local establishments have just lost their ability to care. Now, sure, there are some out there that still care, but the majority of them, it's just garbage, slop, and they don't care, and then when they go out of business, they blame the economy. I'm not saying the economy's good, but I'm just saying it's garbage out here. And I just left there feeling, I apologized to my family a couple of times for taking them there. For spending $60 on lunch, I apologized to them. We almost went to the Whole Foods and just got food there. I've been eating, like you could have got 3 hot meals off the buffet at Whole Foods for less than $20 a piece and no tip. I could get sushi in Whole Foods for $18. I'm not saying it's the world's best sushi, but I've been eating it lately. I've been eating sushi from the grocery store all over the place, and it's good. I like it. Now, if you're listening from Japan or Korea, you're probably offended by that, but I'm just saying, for where I'm at, it's pretty good. And we were so close to there, and then I saw this barbecue place, and I go, oh, this is a pretty famous Alabama barbecue place. Let's stop there. And it was like such a letdown. I watch a lot of Restaurant Impossible, the TV show hosted by Robert Irvine, and all I ever think when I go into these restaurants is, what would Robert Irvine's reaction be? And I would think it would be total disgust. Now, the last benefit of the doubt that I'll give them is I didn't get pork, and it is a barbecue restaurant. Maybe it's phenomenal. But I would think your other secondary item should at least be above total garbage. For that price, I mean, legit, we could went to Whole Foods and got 2 hot bars and sushi for less than I spent there, and I think we would have felt more satisfied. Whole Foods gets a bad rap of being so expensive, and it is more expensive than, say, a Kroger, but it gets a bad rap. But the food quality is good. I mean, you can't just guarantee because you walked into Whole Foods that everything's good and healthy and great, but they do have that stuff in there. Sprouts is a good one. Trader Joe's is good. I like those places. Publix is good. I like Publix. I'm a big fan. I'm not a fan of Aldi, by the way. People love Aldi, and it's okay if you love it, but I'm not a fan. I don't like what they got going on in there. Okay, here's my other rant. That was it. That was it for my restaurant thing. But I don't know if it's so much of a rant. It's just sheer disappointment. You just leave a place, and after tip, let's say, I think the total came to $58. And then let's say you leave a $12 tip. That's $70 that I spent for lunch. We didn't finish a single thing. And she did ask, did we want any boxes? And we go, nah, that's okay. And nobody thought, oh, they didn't finish any of their meal. Like if I was working, and I feel like I've done this before. When I was waiting tables, if I was working and I noticed that my table seemed totally unsatisfied, I might ask them about it. I might try to drag it out of them. I might even send a manager by just to say, hey, why don't you go check on them? They seem pretty unhappy with their meals. Why don't you check on them? But they didn't do that. Nobody checked. And it's just mind-blowing how bad it is. And it'll close, and people will blame the economy, or they'll go, oh, this place was an institution. It's such a shame. And they'll blame some chain restaurant for running them out of business. But they did it to themselves. They did it to themselves.